Yo, what's up guys? It's Mike Chain, SixPackAbs.com. So today we're gonna be talking about the fastest way for you to get ripped, but more importantly, stay ripped year long. Because it's not gonna be any good when you get ripped and then you just get fat in the winter and then try to get ripped again in the summer. We're not gonna play those games. Today I'm gonna teach you the one most important component and how to get ripped and stay ripped. So there's a lot of issues when guys talk about, how come they didn't get ripped? One of the first ones is basically not being consistent enough with working out. Like I always say, it's not so much of they didn't have the right workouts, or they didn't know how to do the exercises. That stuff you can figure out pretty easily. Even if you're doing it wrong, you'll still get some results. But if you don't work out enough, if you're not consistent enough, there's just no way you're gonna be able to get in shape. Number two is not having enough willpower to go ahead and eat the right diets. You already know if you don't eat your diet right, you're not gonna ever get lean. So there's a lot of issues like that. Also, like not being motivated when you're at the gym to work out, or not being focused when you're actually exercising. So I can go on and on reasons on why guys are not getting ripped, but I'm gonna save the time and right now and talk about the one most important solution, because there's a whole bunch of ways to fix all of that, but the one most important solution that will cover everything is your environment. So I've been reading a book, Fat Chance, and it's an awesome book. I talked about it last month and I was only halfway done during that time, and now I have finished it completely and I'm actually referring back and listening to it again because there's so much information in this book, and there's a lot of things that talk about why everybody's getting overweight. They're talking about diabetes and obesity and things like that, but there's so much good information in there that will help guys like me and guys like you on how to get in shape and get ripped but stay ripped. So they talk about it basically being environmental. Okay, there's two different types of environments. There's controlled environments and there's natural environments. So before we jump there, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, you can go to audible.com/Mike and you'll get your first audiobook for free. Okay, it's an awesome promo that they have. I definitely recommend getting this book, and again, it's a good book. There's tons and tons of information. I promise you, if you finish that book and you got at least just 25% of what they talked about, your knowledge on health and fitness would increase probably 100% because there's that much good information in there. So let's talk about controlled environments. And I actually made a list because there's a lot of different type of controlled environments that are probably really good to help people get in shape, but not for the long term. And most of these come from reality type of weight loss shows and get fit shows. So I wrote it down right here. So I'm just gonna kind of go through the list. So the biggest one, the most popular one, is probably The Biggest Loser. It's where everybody has a personal trainer, they got the personal chef, and it's being controlled in everything they do. Everything that they eat, everything, all the physical activities that they do is being controlled, right? Even all the people that are surrounding them on a daily basis are people that are motivating them to exercise and get in great shape. So how come they drop weight? Well, no shit. They have no other choice. When you got a personal trainer cracking a whip on their ass, tell them to get in shape. They got no other, they got no option. So yes, they'll get in great shape, but watch what happens when they get out of that controlled environment. Suddenly they gain the weight back. There's a few others like, shedding for the wedding. I don't know watch these shows. I went online, just pulled them up. Why? Because it's just total crap. But anyways, shedding for the wedding, basically overweight people who wants to get in shape to get ready for their wedding dress. Celebrity fit clubs. How do I sum that one up? A whole bunch of A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list, I think D-list celebs. They got overweight because they're not in front of the camera anymore and suddenly want to get back into shape. Hey, let's make a show out of it. Same thing. Now, I'm not tripping. I can go on and on. There's so many different shows, but I can go on and on. And honestly, guys, I'm not tripping about how, these shows are bad for people because, they're getting results. They are getting results. But the thing is, it's not the right results because they're never going to be able to obtain it long term, because the moment they get out of that environment, they go into what we call now the natural environment. So let me explain what natural environment is. Natural environment basically is what your regular lifestyle is. Let's say, for example, what you eat every day, right? That's your natural environment. It's nothing special. It's whatever you eat. Could be healthy, could be not healthy. The people you're surrounded by every single day, the 5 closest people around you are the biggest influence for you. So if they're in great shape, guess what? You're in great shape. Vice versa. If they're all overweight, I can bet my money that you're probably not into great shape. It's just how it is. Another thing is the home you live in. Your kitchen, your pantry, the food around you. If you have bad food in there, you're gonna eat it, right? Your work, your school, right? There's a certain type of culture at your work. If you work at a gym, it may be great because, everybody's kind of motivates you to get in shape. But if you if you're in a job to where you just sit in front of a computer and work every day, and half the people are overweight and obese, but guess what? They're your coworkers. You spend a lot of time with them, and it's going to influence your life. Same thing with school. So another one is normal social events, parties, social gatherings, restaurants you go to, maybe bars or clubs. Same thing. All of that influences you in your natural environment. And when you're in a controlled environment, all of that is controlled, and all of that is geared to help you lose weight. In your natural world, in the world that we live in, aka reality, it's not like that. There's everything around you is basically going to be hurting you to get into shape. That's why, like when I was reading that Fat Chance that talks about it, just in the US alone, 55% of people are obese. And for you guys that are watching this in the US, you walk around, it's legit. You can go to the mall and literally, I did this. When I was listening to this audiobook, I walked around the mall and I was like, fat, no, not fat. Gotta be future fat, not fat. Why did I do future fat? The mom and the dad was fat, and the girl was maybe like 12, 13 years old. And she's not fat yet, but she'll get there. So that's how it is. If you guys are watching from the international side and you guys are in all these other countries, you're not seeing it as bad, right? But it's creeping up. Because if you listen to the audiobook, you'll see the numbers are getting up. They're getting up there. So eventually you'll catch up to us. And then being lean and ripped is gonna be literally the minority of the world. So what to do, right? That's kind of what we're talking about. What to do, because you can get ripped and do this controlled environment, hire a personal trainer, have them change your whole entire life, but the moment they're gone, you're gonna be out of shape again. It's just impossible to obtain unless you make your environment a permanent change to help you with your eating and help you with your working out. Okay, at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you a little sneak peek of my controlled environment, and I figured this out a long time ago, because I'm gonna tell you what, guys, if I didn't have the things that I have in place right now, I would not be lean. I would be just like I was before. I'm working out like crazy, but I couldn't get into great shape. It was just so hard. I've been lifting for over 15 years and still couldn't do it until just recently, about the last 3 to 5 years, I got into a lot better shape. So this is the things you need to change. I'm gonna go down a list. Number 1, home. What you need to change in your home is basically the things in your kitchen, right? Take out all the junk food, take out all of your old takeout and stuff, or even your new takeout that you know is bad for you. Take out the pastries, take out the cakes, take out all of your cereals, your OJ, your apple juice. Yeah, your OJ and apple juice, because it's so full of sugar. It's equivalent to drinking a Coke, except it has some vitamins. Whoopee. Get rid of everything. If it's in your fridge, you're gonna eat it. It's just how it is. There's no way around it. At some point, your willpower is not gonna be strong enough, and when you're binging for something sweet, you're gonna grab whatever's in your fridge, just how it is. Now, if you didn't have it in your fridge or kitchen and you're binging for something sweet, you gotta think, well man, I gotta get dressed, I gotta get into my car, I gotta drive to the grocery store, I gotta buy it, then I gotta drive all back. I might be too lazy to do all that. I'm just gonna skip it all together and see what else I got. So make sure you get rid of everything in your fridge. Make sure it's only clean and healthy foods. That is step 1 into controlling your environment and making sure you get lean. You gotta make sure your calories are low. You're eating the right foods. So number 2, school and work. When you're at school, they probably provide some type of food for you. It may not be free. I mean, if you're in college stuff, it's like buffets. I mean, where do you think that freshman 15 come from, right? But even if you're in middle school or high school, same thing. What do you want? Spaghetti or pizza or chicken tenders and fries? I mean, you gotta go ahead and control the food at your school. So what does that mean? You gotta go ahead and do 2 things. Option 1 is to bring the food, okay? You gotta package it up. That means you cook the food, and I got all these other videos that teach you how to cook the food, how to get prepped up, what to put in there, and things like that. But do that and bring the meals to school. So this way you're not influenced by all the garbage they're feeding you. It's not gonna help you get lean. Nobody else in school cares about getting in great shape. Teachers don't. Yeah, they don't. So you gotta make sure you control it by yourself. Bring the food, and that'll help out with that. Now, another option though is if you don't have the time to cook the food or bring the food because you don't want to, another option is to see if you can find an alternative at school or at work, and one that you can keep up with. Not just like, there's a restaurant across town, I can drive there maybe once in a while, but something that you can eat every single day that is healthy. So this way, every day when it's time to eat, while your friends and coworkers are, eating the junk, you go grab your healthy stuff, So this way, you have a structured way to always make sure you're eating clean every day at school and work, because you're there all the time. So another thing, okay, this is actually a little interesting. Your car. I'm gonna show you my car in a little bit. Your car. What you wanna do is you wanna leave a backup workout bag with some essentials. Number 1, tennis shoes, right? I got people complaining, oh, I don't got shoes. Come on, man. Just put some old tennis shoes. Doesn't really matter. Tennis shoes, workout clothes, right? shorts and shirt, right? Or shorts and tank top, right? Water bottle, a 12-pack of water bottle. Why? Because you need to stay hydrated during your workouts, and also sometimes you're thirsty, and drinking water has become a big issue. A lot of people aren't drinking enough water. Something simple, just leave it in there, okay? Another thing is a shaker and a jug of protein. Why? When you're hungry, a protein can help satisfy you for now and make sure that your body's not burning muscle, okay? Because when you're hungry and you gotta eat, you will find some food. It's either gonna be drinking that protein that's sitting in your trunk or sitting in your back seat, or you're gonna drive over to McDonald's or some fast food place and grab whatever you want. You know, it's the same thing, except one's gonna keep you lean while the other one's just gonna, you know. Anyways, the last one, workout towel. Right? You don't want to be all sweaty and stinky at the gym and stuff. That's it. You may never even use this stuff. That means on top of that, you're still gonna go ahead and when you go to the gym, let's say you work out at the gym, you're still gonna bring, you know, workout clothes, you're gonna be dressed, everything like that. This is a backup to make sure that you never have a reason to not be able to go to the gym and work out. Now for you guys that are working out at home, same rule apply. Obviously you don't need to bring it to your car, but just have those things available. Same thing, same reason why. If you're hungry, you get the protein ready. If you don't have gym clothes, you know, make sure you have some gym clothes, right? So, another one. This is a tough one, okay? Because this is gonna kind of touch people in, you know, all the touchy places. Your friends, okay? Friends, if you ever heard the saying, you are the equivalent, or what is it? You are the average of the 5 closest people around you. Okay, why? Because these people influence our lives, okay? If your friends are in great shape, I guarantee you are not in bad shape. You may not be in as great shape as they are, maybe you are, but for sure you're not overweight, you're not obese, right? If your friends are like fitness models or like, you know, personal trainers or something, they influence your life. So you gotta look at your friends, and there's a couple different options, okay? Option number 1. You want to get hardcore, you don't give a shit about your friends, find new friends, right? You get friends that are all working out, you get friends that are in great shape, that are eating right, that are working out, you don't gotta worry about it. You just become friends with them, and by default, you're gonna get dragged to the gym, you're gonna be eating chicken and broccoli and stuff like that, and you're gonna be having all these healthy alternatives by default. But if you don't want to burn off your friends, I get it, I'm not gonna do it either, then you go with option number 2, which is retrain your friends. So let me explain really quick, okay? Retrain your friends. Basically, you need to let your friends know the priority that you put aside for working out and for eating right. You gotta let them know how important it is to you. So many times you get all this peer pressure and all this stuff because your friends are going, oh man, just try this out. And they know you're dieting, but they don't give a shit. And they realize you don't care enough to tell them no. So you're trying to work out, but they're giving you junk food to eat. Try this pizza. Hey, let's go order some burgers and fries. Don't be a little bitch, just do it. Right? And then you get sucked into this whole influence thing. Same thing with working out. Ah, skip this workout, man. This is a nice party. This is that chick, she likes you, man. All this stuff, right? They don't respect that it's a high priority for you. So what you need to do if you want to keep your friends around and you want to get into great shape and stay there is you got to retrain them. You got to go and tell them, hey, look, I'll do all this stuff, but I'm not down to eat the bad food and I cannot skip my workout. You want to go ahead and go to that party and let me hook up with that chick? You want to hook me up? Cool. You can be my wingman and everything after I get my swole time. Right? You got to make sure you prioritize it with them so this way they don't peer pressure you as much. They'll still do it, I know, but not as much. Been there, done that. Let them know, right? Retrain them, and your ultimate goal is for you to convert them. Convert them. Get them to go ahead and work out and eat right, because the more they're on your page, the more they're like you, the better. You know, it's less friction, right? You don't got them all, you know, getting on your case about working out and eating right. So the last one, social events. So you have almost total control over this stuff on social events, but number 1, most people will go, well, just don't go out to eat, and just don't go out to the club, and don't go out to the bar. Fuck that shit. You need to go ahead and have your social events and live your life the way you want to live. And I wrote out a really good quote, and I'm gonna have this memorized one day. I'm just gonna start spitting it out like that. But here it is, okay? This is basically like, kind of like the way I live by, okay? Because I'm a personal trainer, I help people get in shape. But you know what? I have lots of fun. If y'all guys see my Facebook page, I'm always posting shot. This is what you need to remember. You don't live your life so you can be in great shape. You get into great shape so you can improve your life. It's a big difference. So many people, you know, they try to structure their whole entire life around working out so much that they don't enjoy life. Their life is just so I can get leaner and build bigger muscles. Why? So this way I can get leaner and build more bigger muscles. It's like everything is all about that. Well, what are you gonna do with it? Step on stage? Really? I mean, that's like one day out of the, well, maybe 5 days out of the year. What are you gonna do the rest of the time, you know? that's not the way to go. You want to do that? Cool, I'm not gonna stop you. But for the majority of us, we want to go ahead and be in great shape, so this way we can improve our life, so we can look better when we go to these social events, when we're hanging out at these parties, when we're doing all this stuff. So when the social events, there's just a couple of things that you need to go ahead and make sure you control. Number one, plan them out ahead of time. You know that you're gonna be going out to dinner and you're gonna be eating some crap. Then make sure you, number one, get your workout in like always, but make sure you eat less because you're gonna fuel on those calories later. Let's say you know you're gonna be going to a party, there's gonna be drinks, you're gonna be drinking some alcohol. You're not gonna be a little punk and not drink no alcohol, so what are you gonna do, right? Well, here's something to do. Eat a little less and make sure in your meal, do not eat any carbs. Just eat protein and vegetables. Now, the reason why is because when you drink all this alcohol, you're gonna get all your carbs in. And you probably know that you're gonna eat some snacks then afterwards, gonna be a little buzz, gonna be like, okay. So, you're gonna have to try to balance it out. So by planning ahead, it's gonna help you eliminate a lot of the downfall of going out. You know, I go out almost all the time and you know, I can still stay in great shape and live my life and be happy. Okay, so those are the things, I want to sum it up really quick, okay? Those are things you have to change. Number one, your home, okay? Get rid of all the food in your fridge because it's bad for you. Go with healthy foods. Number two, school and work. Make sure you have a way to eat healthy at school and work by bringing your food or finding healthy alternatives. Number three, your car. Have your gym clothes along with your waters, along with your protein, your shakers, and everything you need as a backup. And if you work out at home, do the same, have it there available. Number three, your friends. Either you find new friends or you make sure they know that working out and eating right is important for you and, you know, convert them and try to help them out over time. Get them to be healthy too. Social events, last one, prep for them so this way you can manipulate your eating and make sure you train before you do your social events. I remember how I used to have it to where it's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to this thing, I'm gonna go to the gym afterwards. Nope, never gonna happen. Okay, that's as simple as do not go home before going to the gym. If you're gonna go to the gym after work or after school, go straight there. I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this for too long, it's not gonna work, okay? So there's some little tips like that, but remember all of those, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna totally change your environment. You're gonna basically be able to have your natural environment that you live in, but everything around your environment is helping you stay good on your workouts and stay good on your eating. Now remember, that doesn't mean you're like a freaking, you know, stone, you don't do anything fun. You're doing things fun all the time. You're just making sure your lifestyle is helping you stay in shape or get in shape and stay in shape. Because if you don't do all this stuff and you just, you know, try to will it out with willpower and, you know, I'm gonna be super, super strict, you can do that. But you know how many people are actually doing that? I'm one of them, and I know a handful of people are like that, but it doesn't matter because not enough people are doing it because it's so hard, you know, it's not expectable. Right now, this video is to help you guys, all of you guys are watching this video on how to do it without having to be a trainer, without having to go ahead and live in this fitness environment, you know? I made it basically my business and my life to make it this fitness environment. But even before that, I was still doing the same things. So that's how you do it if you really want to stay in shape in the long run. So remember, if you haven't checked out that book, Fat Chance, that really enlightened me to share all this stuff with you, check it out, audible.com/Mike. You get your Audible for free. Now, I'm gonna show you a little sneak behind the scenes on a little bit of what we do, okay? So kind of how I set up my environment. So I'm gonna go ahead, show it to you now. Let's do it. Guys, so we're here in my break room. You're probably wondering, why am I showing an empty fridge? Well, there used to be like a lot of food in here earlier today, but basically, I get the meals all catered now, right? Here's my meals. We get like about, I think like a couple hundred meals a week. You know, I'm not eating at all, but I got tons and tons of guys and everybody's eating the same thing. And that's the whole idea about the controlled environment, like I talked about. People that are on the SPS team, Six Pack Shortcuts team, you know, no matter what they're doing to help make the videos or help, you know, get the workout programs to you guys, they're all dropping weight and they're all getting in great shape because they're influenced by this environment. So not only did I set up for myself, I set up for everybody else. It's good, you know? So here's an example of what I eat. Tilapia, veggies, brown rice. Simple, right? So, and again, I mean, we're gonna get some food delivery tomorrow, so this whole fridge will be packed up. If you guys want me to show it to y'all next time, let me know in the comments. So, that's one part of it, and if you see, one trick I do, I'm just gonna show you right here. This is my sauce table here. Why do I have the sauce table? Hey, I get bored of all the same foods every single day. I've been eating it for many, many years. The sauces give a different type of taste for all the different foods. You know, there's some good sauces, some bad sauces, but I got a lot of different ones. And if you see the cabinetry up here, if I open them up, there'll be tons and tons of more sauces. So, it's just another way. Now, if the sauces weren't there, this is another example of setting up the environment. If this wasn't here, then it would be less motivating for me and also everybody else to eat the foods, because there's no way to kind of differentiate between every single meal. Imagine you're eating 5 meals of the same exact thing, right? So again, making sure that we have all this stuff stocked is basically creating an environment, and this is our natural environment that we live in every single day. So I'm gonna go and show you my office. All right, so we're here in my office. If you see right here, here's all the drawers. If you see how kind of how I marked it. Got some supplements down here, tank tops, shorts and sweats, shirts, underwear and socks. Again, it's a little unique for me because I don't expect everybody to have all this stuff at work, but the whole idea is the same. Everybody's lifestyles are gonna be a little bit different and everybody's environments are a little different. But just making sure that you have everything that you need there when you need it ensures that you're able to get your workout in and again be able to eat right. And having all this stuff here ensures I'm never stuck without workout clothes, right? And on a side note, I actually wear workout clothes every day to work anyways. Why? Because yeah, I can go and dress in a polo and jeans and everything, but then if I'm gonna work out every day, I'm gonna have to change and then change back. There's no point. So if you see, I don't know if you can see from here, but most people, well, they're all around. But most people are actually in workout clothes too. So, all right, let's go check out my car. I'll show you something interesting. All right, so sneak peek of my car. Check this out. No bullshit. This is what I do. I got my waters and my protein right here. Why? So this way, when I'm sitting here driving, I gotta put up a shake. I just grab it, chug it in like 10 seconds, and then I'm done, right? And here it goes, look. If you see right here, you see how effortless this was. Got my water jug, just in case all of those waters, and I got some more on this side, wasn't enough. I got my way to basically make sure I always have my water, always have my protein. Again, so this way, doesn't matter if I'm out and about, I'm hungry and I'm thirsty, I got water and I got protein. I may not have the carbs and everything, but that's something I actually consider on doing, leaving some rice cakes or something in the car. But same thing applies though. My environment, I set it up so this way it helps me with my eating, helps me with my working out. All right, and friends-wise, here's some of my friends, okay? Again, that's why it helps me to stay in shape, because I know if I'm eating bad or not working out, one of these guys is gonna drag my butt into the gym and get me to work out. So here it goes, guys. Follow those tips. I promise you it's gonna help you out. Change up your environment, because that's what it really takes to get in shape now and also stay in shape long term. And don't forget, check out audible.com/Mike if you wanna check out that book, Fat Chance. It's an awesome read. Thanks for watching, guys. See y'all next time. Peace.